Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on this Friday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for Transformers, the show! Hey, good evening, welcome to the show. On tonight's show, we've got loads coming up. The foreplay tonight is going to be Brainstorm. So we're going to all show our brainstorms off. I don't think I've got one. Plus, we've got the latest news. Andy's off. He's had to shoot off, so we're going to do the news in a little bit rather than straight away, so bear with us with that. Rohan's Corner, it's going to be looking at repaints, one of the most touchy subjects in the fandom. But the main bit of sex tonight is that we're joined by Brad Lexus. Hello! We're joined by Brad, Exilian XLR. Thank you so much for coming on.
I always love it, mate. Always love it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we love having you on. One of our favourites, definitely. And you've just done a video today, haven't you? And just published it.
Just put up a little box hound today. Bit of silliness, bit of silly unboxing. Yeah, but how's everyone? It's good to. I haven't caught up with you guys for a good while, I think. So it's really nice to see you.
We miss you on our naked Tuesdays, mate.
Oh,
we do.
I've moved to naked Saturdays now, so I know.
Oh, you're so.
You're welcome to join though. It's just a little bit more
so
slippery.
clicky. It's so clicky. We can't do that. We're not cool enough for that.
I need to stop talking so they can look at your face. It is a lovely face.
Nosy.
Top 5 face, definitely. Right, so we can't do the news straight away. We'll do the news in a bit. So what should we start off with? Let's start off then straight away. To give me time to do the news. We're going to go absolutely cool. I haven't got that either yet. But maybe I'll do one of the things we have got, which I think should be Rohan's Corner. So we're going to start off with you, Rohan. Rohan! Start on the high, yeah, big high.
Rohan. Who is this guy? Rohan, the one and only.
Do you ever feel apprehensive logging on to social media, into the Transformers community, and thinking, geez, what's going to be the most polarizing discussion today about Transformers? What could it be that's going to be picking everybody apart today? What are the most polarizing elements of the Transformers franchise in general? Hi, I'm Troy McClure, and today we're talking about everything in Transformers that is Marmite.
Rohan!
Did Hot Rod really cause Optimus Prime's death? Is Rumble blue or is he red? Should the new releases of Hasbro's mainline figures be Generation 1 inspired or something else, maybe something new? Did the Beast era help or hinder the Transformers franchise? Was Bayverse a necessary evil to get us new Transformers today as collectors? Should you throw boxes out or keep them for long-term retention? Are leakers good or bad for the community? Should Frank Welker have been the Bayverse voice of Megatron in the first place instead of Hugo Weaving? Did Hasbro's execution of Generation 2 actually kill the Transformers line in the early 1990s? What is the right scale? Is it Sunbow? Is it toy? Is it cartoon? Is it comic? Has Bumblebee become the new Hot Rod today? Were Transformers Prime and Transformers Animated cut short, and should they have been allowed more airtime considering how good they have aged? Are Action Masters real Transformers, or are they just imposters? Are GoBots really crap, or is it just they came second? Should Bumblebee be able to speak, Or should he just be able to talk in radio excerpts? Are evergreen toy lines really necessary? Do they actually add anything to the franchise? Do you actually buy any? Are these characters that we know and love being shoved out the door just to make Hasbro more money? Should the Animorphs toy line have ever been allowed to disgrace the Transformers brand? Are New Age or Magic Square the best Legends toys available? Are QC issues really acceptable in Hasbro's mainline releases, especially when they're making so many millions of them? Is plastic crack really just a very expensive way of wasting your money? Do crossovers really have a place within the Transformers brand? Are pre-orders a good thing or a bad thing? And when do repaints become a dirty word? And this is the discussion for today. Repaints, are they a good thing or are they a bad thing? They've been in Transformers since absolute day one. In fact, actually, most of the Transformers line itself are just repaints of the Diaclone toy line. Well, let's be honest. Repaints as a concept have been in toy lines, not just Transformers, since the dawn of time. Manufacturers have always needed a way to cut costs and produce more new unique toys. And we got that from the offset. Let's not forget that the Seekers were all repaints of one another. Starscream, Thundercracker and Skywarp, unique as they may be by their voice actors, by their personas created for them, and by their colour schemes, are just in fact repaints. And the same is true of many Generation 1 characters, the likes of the Datsun brothers, the likes of Rumble and Frenzy, Buzzsaw and Laserbeak. Later on into Season 2 you had characters like Grapple and Inferno, Hoist and Trailbreaker, retools of molds that were not too dissimilar, let's be honest, and even further down the line when they got really lazy with the likes of the Sweeps and Scourge, so on and so on. And let's talk about today's day and age when we see an absolute plethora of repainted figures out there on the shelves. We don't have to go far in the War for Cybertron trilogy to see the Seeker mold, to see the Lambo mold, to see the Datsun mold being reused over and over again. And it's not just them. Look at the Ironhide mold. Look at the Trailbreaker Hoist lift ticket mold. Everywhere you look, there are repaints galore, and Hasbro is really taking advantage of it. E-hobby colours, Generation 1 colours, Generation 2 colours, made-up colours, you name it, they've got it. So what do you think, Transformers fans? Do you like repaints? Where is the limit? When do they start to become the dirty little secret of Transformers? For another week, I've been Rohan on Rohan's Corner. I hope you've enjoyed this discussion about the most polarising elements of Transformers in Transformers history. Do you agree with my assessment? Are there any others that you would put in there? Until next time, back to the studio.
Oh yeah? Well, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Hello, so I was a little slow off the mark there. Continuous Rohan, now it's just me, now there's 4 of us. Right, cool, Rohan, thanks for that. You bought me some well-needed time so I could quickly go in and do the news. Speaking of news, let's go straight into it with some big news this week. I've got a bit of an echo coming back from someone. Who's got their sound on? I'll play the news music and that'll carry us through this bit.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Oh, this new stuff's actually quite hard to do, and we take the piss out of Andy for doing this, but it's fairly hard. So there's the only way I can do it. So first up is Galvatron is coming back in Legacy. This is important because he's not got any battle scars. What do you think of this chap? Are you going to get a new one, Jamie?
I've got the news as well, Paul, just in case. So I did it.
Oh, brilliant.
As soon as you typed it, I panicked.
That's a good point, Jamie. I completely agree. Galvatron is better.
I'll let you do it, Jamie, because the way I've got it set up is pants. It's pants news. I'll get a picture of Ian. I can do that.
Awesome.
That's about it.
So first up, we've got Bumblebee Studio Series, Bumblebee Transformers the movie, Bumblebee, RC, and there she is in all her glory.
Oh, I'm so glad you're doing the news. That was really shit. I really didn't like that. It was too much nothing. I think she looks good. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Especially the alt mode.
I don't think I've actually seen the alt mode of it yet. Is it some kind of weird bike?
Oh, apart from the ugly face, you wouldn't want
Oh
to take
god,
that
the
home to
face
your
looks like some kind of synth from Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Crumbs, that is terrifying.
Definitely not got the male gaze there, you know.
No.
But,
she's like some sort of manga anime when the girl goes, "Do you not think I'm pretty? No, I'm gonna kill you anyway."
but I tell you what, you would like to ride that alt mode, wouldn't you?
It's diddy though, isn't it? It's tiny. It's like it's
It
almost
is
like
dinky.
a core class. It's almost like core class, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's deluxe class. It's the same size as RC. It's the other RC.
You show the rubber shot. It's like an inch smaller.
It's like a wee cows in the distance far away. Then
it's kind of standard deluxe size, isn't it? It is a bit small, but it's all right. It's I haven't bought any of these.
It's like a Tron tricycle, and to be honest, it's bigger than a body car. So, you can hold your fat ass, and mine's especially. But there she is there.
It's got a tiny seat. Or do you sit on the back a bit?
I don't even think there is a seat.
No. It's just...
rather selfish.
Is that her hands? Oh, can I see her fucking hands?
Uh-oh.
Is that her hands at the back?
You can.
Yeah, oh, mate.
You almost had me there, Hasbro.
They're holding the guns, aren't they? His exhaust.
Yeah, that looks stupid.
Holding the guns.
Paul's done. Paul is out.
I'm out of collecting.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's a trademark they do with all their transformations. Really, the hands always seem to go to the back, don't they? Just sort of like hang there.
Did you learn this time, Paul?
Then what?
Look for the hands before you apply lube.
True.
True
that.
Seriously, like otherwise it's just
my first lessons my father said to me.
You know.
Here, Alexis, this is something for you, some third party.
Oh, okay, yeah, why not? This is a lot of MicroMasters.
Don't go into too much detail.
All right, okay, so there's a red one. I think there's a couple of blue ones.
This is MB18.
Really
Fans
confusing
Toys.
when you do in and out. Stop zooming in and out. Really confusing.
Fans Hobby MB18. This is.
Yeah, it's oh my god, it's a Martha Optimus Prime with his drones, and the little yellow one you get with him, which I can't. I think what's his name, Sunstreaker. Seriously, stop zooming in and out. It's really annoying.
I'm zooming into the little yellow one you just asked about. I'm very hot.
It's the Energon one.
Well, now you know how my eyes feel.
But I want Hasbro to do one.
Energon, that's it.
Really want Hasbro to do one, which is why I haven't gone for the Armada one, or I won't go for this one. It's too expensive.
He's got a lot of back. Baby got back, right?
Oh yeah, he was classically known as Fatty Prime or Fatimus Prime because he was just such a wedge.
In robot mode, right? Not in
robot mode.
The Toon mode was fine, right?
No, he was pretty big as well. He was on the rotund side of Plump, should we say?
Does the actual? Cause again, I'm not overly familiar with Energon. I can't remember like Fatimus Prime. I remember like this is part of the Unicorn trilogy, isn't it? So
yeah, the middle one, Energon, or
Super
if you're from Japan.
The population has got larger, so at least people are getting represented now.
Does the convoy there, the sort of like the sort of like the sort of like Hot Wheels like garage, does that convert into part of his body or?
The trailer never did in the original. So the 4 drones actually combined with him to make his limbs and make him bigger. But the trailer was just like superfluous. It was always there.
He doesn't look that big.
So moving on, Alexis, because it's so interesting. But
just
this is Galvatron, and this is the new.
What did he say his name was?
Well, this is the new Galvatron they're releasing, which is basically the old Galvatron, but with shoulders and not with all the, special dirt on it, to make battle damage. So all that gumph is gone, and he's now got proper shoulders.
I never actually noticed he had battle damage.
So his battle damage is now gone. Yeah.
Hasbro were like, we listened to the fans and we've removed the battle damage, and you pay 50 quid again.
We did that before we righted the shoulders.
But the shoulders are now fixed, so now it comes with the correct shoulders rather than alternative shoulders.
Well, let's not preempt that. You never know.
And then we have Studio Series Ironhide.
Is he any good? Is Ratchet any good?
I think Ratchet's brilliant. I really do.
I nearly picked him up today, but I didn't.
There's some chat about colorization, like a lot of the recent Transformers seem to be losing their color. or the colour's not uniform to begin with when it comes out the box. So maybe people, they don't notice it at first, but when they start taking photos and notice the shade in colours and start to think, oh,
Like
my Transformers,
Sunstreaker.
Lost the colour. Yeah, well, maybe a less extreme example of Sunstreaker. With Sunstreaker, it was obviously the paint. So I don't know what's causing that, because I wouldn't have thought they would decolorize, not with the modern techniques. So it's either the plastic or something they put in. I would have presumed it's causing this change in paint and not, but it's been decolorized.
Are they painted, Jay?
Well, it's the plastic, you see, the plastic paint. They put it in so that it's all white.
No, because I asked because obviously Sunstreaker was the painted part stood out as in nice, and the sort of like you can see plastic and paint. There was a clear difference between what was painted and what wasn't painted. I'm guessing. Sorry.
No. I just wanted to say, it's like we said last week with the Hasbro stream. They were talking about how using the different plastics, they don't like it. The guys were saying this on the stream because it causes the color to be different. So it's something they've obviously discussed and picked up about, the clear plastic and etc. And then using the exact same paint gives you a different color. Where it would probably take a lot of time to fine tune to use a different paint with a clear plastic compared to the other plastic you use, which is stronger for the transformation stuff. So they were discussing that.
Should just paint everything beige and be done.
Yes. Or brown. Nice 1970s brown.
So don't he's looking not quick, but he's looking for. I can see Paul. I can be brown. I can be fuck off. pretty much my face.
So he has got, like Ratchet, I think the alt mode is going to be brilliant. So I think it'll be definitely a good figure to pick up.
He looks like a toot truck. Used to get rid of it.
Oh yeah, toot toots.
Yeah, toot. And there's another toot. That looks like a toot as well.
And this was the big news, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. This was the sort of like the crossover with G.I. Joe and Transformers, where you got Megatron transforming into a very good HISS tank. Yeah. Although people did complain for about £90, which it seems to be selling for. Especially if you count postage, so a lot of places might be 85, 86, but postage it's going to be 90 quid. There's a lot of empty plastic there.
Yeah.
If you look at that cannon there, it should be solid, and yet there's a lot of just gaps. For 90 quid, I would expect there not to be any real gaps. I would expect it to be like what do you call them, Jetfire, in the sense a solid bot. You're paying
for
that amount of
£90, you could go to Madame Tussauds 3 times.
Really? Wow. Baby got waxed.
It is nice box art, but I don't think it's £90. But this is the first time I've not pre-ordered something like this. I don't tend to do it with the crossovers because some of them tend to go down in price quite drastically because no one else wants to pay excessive amounts.
They do. Is it an original G.I. Joe figure as well? In the sense of not I know it's.
You get a G.I. Joe figure, the Baroness, but the trouble is they went with classic vintage Baroness and not the new sort of retro figures, which were much better designed.
So is she 3 3/4 then?
It's not a new Baroness figure. It's like an old Baroness figure.
Yeah, they've done the retro thing again, which was just stupid because they bought out. The retro vintage. They bought out retro G.I. Joe, which is 3/4, but it was almost like the Legend, Marvel Legends. Had the same sort of articulation. They were going for it, much better design. Not had the ring mechanism, and now they've gone backwards. And it's for that retro aesthetic appeal, which I just think is not very good.
Do you know what I think would look better? If Megatron, he should just be black, like the Stealth Bomber Megatron.
Yeah,
they've kind of like just shoehorned grey Megatron in there for the. I don't know.
It looks like a nice Megatron as well. It's got a really nice face sculpt.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that, Paul. They said it's got probably the best.
One of the best ones I've seen.
There is so there was meant to be a third party HISS tank crossover, which is why I bought the Jungle Commander, which I sold to Aid now. But like there was meant to be that HISS tank crossover, and I think it was from the same guys that did Unrustables, or it was someone of that sort of ilk who did a number of the third party. I know they did small. No, they didn't. It wasn't those. It was the guys that did. They did some tapes and they did small stuff, and they wanted to upscale into MP. And it was a sound wave that transformed into a HISS tank, but when it transformed, it was about 12 inches tall. So this thing here looks about, correct me if I'm wrong, about 8 inches, 9 inches tall. and it just seems very small in proportion. Because I agree that the
I
3
presume it'd be
figures,
Voyager size. You know, I don't presume they would have made it any bigger. It'd still be
was it 7 inches?
Voyager. Yeah. I'm not really sure what 7.5 inches, isn't it,
Yeah.
Voyager? But I'm not really sure, to be honest. It
So I
could
think
be a
the
bit
3
taller.
I think the 3 3/4 inch figures work, but I think you need to have proper MP figures. For that I think the right scale for chug scale is a bit smaller than that.
One interesting idea would have been if this like armor
Yeah.
he's got on would
Yes.
be like a battle armor which could be
Yeah.
removed, and
Stuart's saying 10.5.
and you could just have your Megatron, and then that's like battle armor he adds on, which gives him the HISS tank appearance.
It looks very
Also, his tank rhymes with piss wank, and I don't think we've explored that yet.
10.5
No,
inches tall
we
is MP
definitely
scale.
haven't,
It
Paul.
doesn't
You
look
know,
MP scale.
We're pushing the boundaries, asking the
Should write a
questions that
rap
other
about
people
it.
don't.
Oh, I can
Yep.
do that. So do that. Do it offline, Brad. You and me can collab and we'll put online, make lots of money.
For that,
Piss
get down
wank.
to a
Cool.
beat.
So this is another news which has been interesting. It was about the micro machines, you know, which have been launched, and you're going to have micro machine play sets, which with are going to have, you know, your die cast micro machine sort of cars, which will be based on the alt modes of planes, based on the alt modes of Transformers. And
That's
then
very
I think they're going to release figures as well, so you can have, you know, alternative, you know, the figure or the vehicle.
That's cool. Micro machines.
You know, so that'll be coming to spring 2022.
Battle play sets. And that's actually good value. That's not bad for that. Because that'd be
What is
about
the play set?
£25, won't it?
Is it like an arc or something, or is it? It looks like a big aircraft carrier boat.
Yeah, well, I think it looks interesting, and I think there's going
It
to be
does.
other stuff. So I think it'll be good. It'll be good for toy photography as well, especially when you think about your Titans. And...
We all live in a submarine.
Here's some more vintage figures. That's next to Scorponok there. I can't remember what the name of this guy is. Like a shark person.
Oh, it's fucking Cyber Shark.
Yes.
Well done.
You know. And then you've got this dog Wolfie person. Which I
That's
don't know.
It's called Hair
Fist,
Boy.
I
It's called
think.
Hair Boy.
Wolfie.
Oh, I see.
The
Hammerhead and Hair Boy.
Is it Boaty McBoatface? Is it Wolfang? I can't remember. Someone's going to correct us. Someone
I
will.
blame Andy because he should have been here. He should have put.
He does the research.
You know, family. What's he thinking? Yeah.
Oh, look at those fists. Paul's out.
Oh, fucking Hasbro. What are you doing to me?
So that's us for the news.
Didn't we have the thing that Andy said send the photographs in later in the week and I didn't bother? We put that on.
Yeah, because if you don't have the photos there, I can't imagine.
They were in the news. They were in the news.
Cool.
Megatron Lab.
The one we showed the week before and the week before that as well.
Yeah,
One you
so
and
the
Andy
thing
were having a discussion with.
we'll talk about it. So the thing we talked about last week, which I did an announcement, I couldn't remember what it was, and it's because it didn't happen. So Vectron Labs, if you go to Vectron Labs on Facebook, they have a group and they're doing announcements this week. They did them a couple of days ago. They are releasing a new MP, that's the ones, Scale Devastator. So they've got the first one, which is Scrapper, and the idea is that on the right, as you can see, on the right hand side, there's Alt mode. You've got robot mode and combine mode. This is apparently a patented bucket transformation. So it transforms from alt to robot into combiner, and they're going to be releasing this as a 22-inch robot. They haven't done much, but apparently in the sense of like reveals yet, they've released Scrapper. They're going to release 2 more robots, so that you can see half the full robot, and then they're going to have pre-orders, and it'll be available for I think late summer, early autumn is about the time, really. So, no idea on price, but again, the best one out there is Devastator, Toy World. So it'd be interesting to see how this compares to Toy World.
Have they just gone like, is the buckets as
No,
like a,
there are more photographs.
there are more photos.
Photographs of the robot. So
Confused then. It's like, is that all there is?
What I'll do.
Do you want to see the rest? No, that's too much. Just the buckets.
I will download those photographs so our keen viewers can see what the robot looks like, and it's actually pretty articulated. So you got Scrapper, and he looks pretty good. So I will get those up on the screen for everyone. So if you get your lube ready, and everyone's got time to go get some.
There's a pile of sand for them to dig into as well.
Well,
pile of like you want to do some construction, get some sand.
Yeah.
oh,
You want your like raw materials ready.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay,
do.
yes. Okay.
You're rubble.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So also TF UK Cons, the 14th of May. So Transformers UK Convention. It's in Birmingham at the Apollo Hotel. £35 is a ticket. It's an all-day ticket. We're all going to be there. All four of us. Brad's going to be there. You've seen in the chat. There's a load of people coming as well. We can't wait to meet you guys, the ones who we haven't met before. It's going to be fantastic. But like, there's some proper good guests, some actual professionals like Thew and Ben's Collectibles, Simon Furman, Jeff Senior, to name but a few. So we're hearing there's going to be some dealer tables as well, so we can buy some Transformers, put them on your table, grab a beer, and chat about said Transformer. And we'll be there as well. So please, if you want a ticket, you just need to head to Facebook, TFUK, and then just private message me there. Slide into my DMs, and I will sort you out. I promise. Cool, right. Let's go to Fanstoys Innuendo. So, Fanstoys Innuendo, Alexis's favourite part of the show, where we go to the Facebook group of Fanstoys. Apologies if you're an admin there, and we take one of the pictures and we change it, and the hosts have to guess what the Transformer is behind the picture. So, good luck, guys. Here's this week's one. I've emailed twice now with no response yet. Any suggestions? Who could be behind that? So it's a Fanstoys Transformer.
Is that our number one fan?
Is it Perceptor again?
Is it Perceptor again? No. Dan Vestater's saying it's.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is actually. I saw this actually.
It's not Galvatron.
Broke a bit of Jetfire off. I read this. Sorry,
let's have a look.
Yeah.
It is. It was Jetfire. It was Jetfire. And funny enough, his name is actually Wank Piss. That's his real name. So coincidence.
What was your guess, me, Brad?
What's that?
What was
I guess Blaster. But to be honest, for weeks I've been trying to figure out how you play it, and then you just explained the rules, and I was like, oh, it's that easy. You just guess which Transformers there.
No, there is no rules. There is no rules.
I'm trying to figure out like the scoring system and like whether tennis was involved.
It's 50-50 if it's Fanstoys. It's 50-50 if it's a Transformer. It's 50-50 if Paul's awake. So
I like the odds.
I don't put any effort into Fanstoys Innuendo.
Oh no, you put a lot of effort into it. It's just
right. Come on, let's move on.
If you said
we have this discussion every week.
It's because if you do it,
we now return to the Transformers.
Alexis, what did you get this week?
Escape room.
I'm gonna keep playing it until
People
you do
would
pickups.
Just die in there like an hour, and then like.
I'm just gonna mute you. Right, Jamie, what did you get this week, mate?
I'll just share some stuff quickly. Well, I say quickly, obviously it's not, but yeah. So open.
Yes. I'll take that ticker down now. But you can see TFUK. Just you can always message the show as well. So head to Transformers the show and on Facebook.
You put it to a few little small faces at the side of the screen, that's easier. The few small faces, when it's all four of us, because you get a bigger view for the picture.
Like that?
Yeah, that's awesome. So basically, I got Studio Series Brawn and I got Studio Series Wheeljack this week. And I'm impressed with both figures. I like the alt modes; they're quite fun to have. I think these are pretty damn good toys, actually. The like Studio Series Ratchet before them, they'll look like they've been fighting a war for a good couple of million years. They look battle hardened. Brawn actually comes with a gun, which is something he's been freaking lacking. From the G1 animation version, especially what Charles Megatron and died in Transformers the movies. I know spoilers. Wheeljack, quite a good mode. doesn't seem to have ankle tilt. I know some people said he does. I couldn't really find it, and sometimes you worry about pushing too much and it just cracks and breaks. But I definitely didn't seem to find an ankle tilt. It does seem to be in a ballpoint, the ankle, but it's not really an ankle tilt, is it? So, it's like someone saying they're a bit flexible, and it's not the same thing. But so there's the Wheeljack, and as I said, he's quite a decent figure, but I do wish it would have had a sort of proper ankle tilt. And
What are you laughing at?
Wheeljack needs a bit of just room.
I'm confused. Oh, the comments. Sorry.
And here's the zoomed up face of Wheeljack. Nice head sculpt, as I said, sort of pretty. But you're paying about 20 quid, and a lot of these things that come with sort of scrappy paintwork and stuff. It's not exactly very polished. But easy enough transformation. Tabs together quite well.
That's beautiful. I didn't realize how nice that vehicle mode is.
Well, it's like I know this was made from the Studio Series Bumblebee movie, and we only got to see the robot mode, so a lot of these alt modes were something they must have planned in advance, I would have presumed, for a toy range especially, or to show in a longer feature of maybe the film, which we never really got to see, or in a potential true sequel to the original Transformers Bumblebee, rather than this relaunch with a different director and a different writing team, which to me means like another soft reboot. Is the Beast, whatever it's called, in
Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast. So I'm a bit disappointed in that, and I would have liked to have seen the original guy continuing on. Was it Travis Knight? His name.
Mm-hmm.
And his writing team.
Is he not continuing? Oh,
no, it's a new producer, a new director, I should say, and a new sort of writing team. So, yeah, unless they're using ghostwriters and the names are never really the people involved. So there's Wheeljack there, and as Brad said, a very, very good alt mode.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Sorry, Jane. It reminds me of Inspector Gadget's car from the side. Definitely.
Oh yeah, it does.
In sport mode.
Yeah.
Go, Gadget, go.
Sorry, Jane.
No, it's better than stuff I was going to say. I was just going to say he's very white and has 4 wheels with a big gun. And there's Braun, who's very yellow and green.
Hench.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If they gave him a G1 face, I would love that as a Braun. If they brought that out as an updated version of Braun, it would work for me. Especially size-wise, he'd be the same size as Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. If they just gave him a G1 face, it would definitely work for me. In fact, they could just do that. They could bring out, Kingdom, Braun with just a G1 face, and it'd be fine.
He stares at you with some kind of craving emptiness, like he really wants your pack of Jaffa cakes or something. Flipping out.
He does look like the
must be puffing wheels. I do love that alt mode though.
It's great. Yeah. It's original, isn't it?
I mean, that's the thing. I think the figures are absolutely good, and the alt modes of the new Studio Series line are just brilliant. They're good fun.
Yeah, you don't Ninja Turtles colour,
and it's like the ballpoints, are back. Like with the sort of Kingdom lines and the sort of Siege line, how the sort of ballpoints being on the shoulders and legs had kind of gone. Now they're saying they're back, and it makes you feel like you're not going to break something when you're transforming it. Obviously, it has a side effect of making the figures a bit looser. Which I think a lot of people complain about. Oh, it's very loose, the legs are loose, wobbly crap. And there's a lot of things you could do to sort of thicken up those ball joints. But as I said, as a kid playing with it, there's a lot of flexibility there, and you're not going to really break it. Where I think with a lot of the other figures you could. And there was an Action Force figure I picked up with the Valversk, so I was quite happy with it. I just like the colours. I spent a stupid amount of money on it, and I'm not going to collect any more. I got my Sergeant Slaughter, but he just looked good, and sometimes you just want to get something that looks good. So that's that.
Those are the Action Force figures, aren't they, James?
Yes, the Valverse Action Force
figures. I've heard about those, yeah.
I mean, they're quite good. I still prefer the G.I. Joe aesthetic, but you know what? To get a Sergeant Slaughter and pick the cherry pick what you might like, it's good. It's expensive, but they're good.
How expensive are they? I haven't looked into them.
Well,
at all.
to get a full figure, because it comes with like replaceable hands and stuff like that, you're talking about 30 quid plus. So you're not talking about 34. And
Right,
with
yeah.
but with this figure, he came with all the posable hands and etc. But the backpack, the stand, and his shield and the gun, that was another accessory pack. So that was £15. So I bought the figure and the accessory pack. Because I just thought, well, I'm getting a figure. I don't want to lose out, so I'll just get the accessory pack as well.
Yeah. But it looks worth it because, like, that lovely like honeycomb glow is it's quite a pleasing thing.
I know, it's just a cool colour. Mayland didn't appreciate it. I just don't understand where she's coming from. When I told her the price, she was just like, "What the fuck?" I was like, just women. I just don't get it.
Cool.
I also got what a lot of people have been talking about is Bulkhead with the new box, which is open with no plastic there, and it came nicely packaged, surrounded with plastic to make sure the box wasn't damaged. I know the plastic's meant to be recyclable and will decompose within, I think they say 2 years, but yeah. And I also got DK 2 guard special selects, Diaclone, Ironhide, red and black. I think they're just really giving up trying to give these guys names, haven't they? They're just
this is release 451 B.
It's like they're naming them after mountains, K2 and stuff like that. I don't know. Death, yeah, but yeah, that's me, Paul. That's everything.
Cool. Andy's not here tonight. Sorry if he's just popped up in the chat. Hi, Andy. Hope your better half is looking good and she feels all right. But yeah, cool. Those G.I. Joe things. So I've got some shelves in my room which I use for like my creme de la creme of my collecting. And I've got the Mandalorians all in a row because I love the Mandalorians.
I blamed you, Biddy. I've said it to me when it's all Biddy's fault.
It is, and I keep thinking, what's the next shelf? And there's a bit of me which thinks doesn't need to be G.I. Joes because it's all Fanstoys, all Mandalorians, all Eagle Moss. No, not Garbears. It's all Eagle Moss starships. But I think the next one's probably going to be Space Marines. And the ones I've been looking at, have you seen the Joy Toy ones? Have you seen, Brad? They look.
They're the ones you paint up.
Oh, do you have to paint them?
There's one line you have to paint up. I don't know if the same one.
Do you mean the expensive ones, like £140, £200, like for like a set of 4 or 5 of them?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah,
those. These are like the big ones you paint up in any faction you want. But
yeah, they've got some of these Joy Toy ones, which I think they're already painted. They're painted really, really well. Cool. They look immense. I'll try and get some.
What was the? Because everyone used to like. I used to love a bit of Blood Angel. Everyone loved the Blood Angel. Wolf Fang was it Wolf Fang?
Space Wolves.
Space Wolves had Space Wolves. Yeah. Blood Angels and Space Wolves.
Eldar man myself.
Like
the pointy bits.
Yeah,
all the cool kids liked Eldar.
I've got a couple of elves as well. I've got dragons as well. I've got all my Warhammer in the loft.
You've got everything in the loft. You've got probably dead bodies.
Right, actually, my mum's stuff actually. So those ones. Let's do a Warhammer day.
Anyway, yeah, Joy Toy. They look good. So that's probably going to be my next shelf to go up. It was almost G.I. Joe, and that Action Force, because it does look good. Cool. Right, Alexis, what did you get? What were your pickups?
Let me do a Sherry screen. Let me try and do this myself, boys. Let me just try and...
Share away.
Don't!
Why are you saying that?
Why isn't it not? Why does it never bring up the window that I actually want to fucking share?
I'd sure like to fist him.
Is that what you meant to share?
Put this in here. Is that going there? Hang on. Is that not going there?
Hi guys.
Isn't that good?
Is that the wrong one?
Share preview screen.
I'm a big chocolate slut.
Start now. Right, here we go. Right, okay, here we go. Right, cool. Yeah, there we go. Right, I'm going to work out. Let me just work out the button. Don't show me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Damn it! You told me.
I told you not to press the buttons tonight. That was your one rule, and you've broken that rule.
Fine.
Go on.
I got this. This is
Oh no! Do it excited.
All right, fine. All right. So this is not Rat Trap. This is Rat Trap fillers. I got lots of filler kits this week, so you can fill your boots because I'm going to fill them for you. Anyway, this is Rat Trap. This is Rat Trap. So Rat Trap basically it's these little leg bits here, literally the 5 bit there and the 5 bit there. So because this bit here is part of the toy. But it's literally this bit here.
This is a very specific pickup.
It's this bit right there, and that there, and then this bit sticks out here. That there, that cost me £5 for the pair, $2.50 each. So got that.
Looks completely different.
The colour match though.
So I was looking through and again I got all my bits of TS Safari, right? And I must admit they did forget to send my Retgar one, so I can't do the Retgar one tonight. But I emailed them, and then they emailed back and said, "I'm really sorry," and they've sent it in the post. So I've got my one coming. So they are quite good. So if you want these types of upgrade kits, TF Safari have everything on there. And I was thinking if I was going to collect again, I might start collecting Chug, but I would invest in the upgrade kits. It does sometimes double the price of the action figure, but again, depending on what type of collector you are, if you want all the gaps filled, sometimes you do. I like my gaps being filled. One at a time, and it works. So next I got Shockwave. This is and Jamie, what Shockwave is this? Do you remember what Shockwave this is, Jamie?
Siege.
This is Siege, and it's got additional bits. So it's got the hilt here, and it's got the scope here. It comes with a different bit, another little bit as well in the bag, which I lost the bag. It comes with something else. But I can't remember what that is, and I couldn't work out what it was. It comes with that, and I thought it looked really cool. So again, everyone complains about the Shockwave not being a proper gun. This here, it just adds the little bit on top here. It's got a little purple bit down here, and this folds in here. And I did have to, admittedly,
so does that plug your gaps, Alexis?
This fills me up really.
I mean, the
really
handle
well.
must be quite handy for your wife to hold on to.
So it comes with 2 bits, and they plug into the 5mm port. So this side plugs in really well. This I didn't plug in so well. So what I did, I just got a little bit of the Kiki juice. I just put that in there, and eventually it dries clear. So I put it in here on the white bit here, clear bit, and it dried clear, and that plugged in a bit better.
Who's Kiki?
Kiki. I'll show you something else. And this is it. I just want to show this is it against the MP. So again, to show what the MP looks like. So depending on what you want, but I think that looks pretty good comparison. I know that I think, am I right, Jamie? This actually comes with a bit that comes on the end here as well. You can extend the gun further. Am I right, Jamie?
Yeah.
So I've got those bits somewhere in the box probably, but I thought this was pretty good. And this was about £10. So this is purple bit on top, this clear bit here, and then you've got a bit other side for the hilt here as well. Then I bought Shotgun for the kits, and the one on the right is the original. The one on the left is the new bit, and it comes with this little bit here. You can see here, which actually it adds a little bit extra transformation because this folds round, so it hides the face basically. So when you have it upright as well, when you look up from below, it covers up the face. But also, Paul, like this. Look over here, Paul. What's this here? What do you see there? What do you see there?
I can see some hands. Oh, just being sick.
Paul,
they're gone on the other one.
What do you see
they're
here,
covered.
Paul? What do you see here, Paul? What do you see there?
What sorcery's that?
It's amazing, right? And they've actually considered every angle because again, you've got the back here. So on the back of the Shotgun Nor, you can see you've got gaps. It's like this is just like the Watford area in total. I've never been there personally. It's a bit far up north for me, but if you've been to Watford, I hear there's a massive gap there.
Just looked for them.
But what they have here is they've got these little things here which fill in the knees, back of the knees, and they plug much straight. And then you've got these little fillers here which look like little turbojets. And they fill in there and there as well. And you can also see, look, you can see the filler here. The back of that's the same filler, so it covers up that bit there, the gappage there as well. So that's pretty cool. So if you want to do a back shot, then if you want your shot to come from behind, you can fill this gap.
You got the fins the wrong way round, Alexis.
What do you mean?
The fins should be the other way.
What?
The fins should be pointing up.
Thanks.
You're back to front.
Are you going to change it or what?
No, I'm not angry.
You're going to delete that photo and take it properly.
No, I'm not.
We'll all wait.
I'm gonna
No one speak in the chat.
I'm gonna put a little thing on it saying approved by Jamie Liddell. And then here you can see again, you got the old gap here, and then you got no gap here. And this is, and again here you have the bit which plugs in. And this, if you do buy this kit, this kit here is, so how many shotguns do you own, Jamie? Honestly, more than 5?
I think I've got 10.
10, right? So this kit here is like £12. So you can, yeah. I bought one. I bought one. I didn't buy more than one. I bought one. I thought I'd just buy one. We'll see what one looks like. So the idea is that you plug it into here, but there's no instructions to plug it in. It's quite, you have to actually, because the jaw lifts up, this jaw up, and you have to push it in the right way. You have to get in the correct way to actually lift it in. But obviously it does fill the gap here. But when you're transforming it, you have to lift this bit up first before you lift the head up, because it won't lift up. But
that's actually pretty good, because I might get that for mine, because I'm so small I've nearly fallen into that gap a few times.
Here you go.
That's £12 well spent.
Look here, fills the gap here.
Safety.
And again, you got a gap here, gap there, and no gap there. So there we go. So that's that one. And then
is there more?
There is more gap. There is more.
It's the arc. We're going to be here for a week.
Let's
have a look at all the filler.
I got arc gap fillers. So I just thought this is.
Oh, that's an awesome photo.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
This is just a photo to show off. There's nothing in that one.
It's not even mine.
The Perceptor, as you know, all the season 2 bots stayed behind. So Perceptor's best friends were born back in the day.
Well, seriously, I would use that as a wallpaper. That's brilliant. That photo. That whole scene.
Thank you, sir. And then this is moving on to the launch ground. I thought I'd have Huffer. I thought, would you have Huffer? Would you have Grapple or Hauler? Pulling it. I thought, well, Grapple is in robot mode, so fuck him. I don't own Hauler, so Huffer gets it. And he has a little bit of an extra rod here because I couldn't be able to take his gun off. And then Perceptor's coordinating it all there.
If you just trimmed the bottom of that, that would be an epic shot. That would look like it's in the base about to launch.
So it's all about this base here. This and
the lighting's awesome as well.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. I did try and do the lighting correctly. It's about this little unit here. This little unit here is £23, and he comes on wheels, and you can move him. And then what you can do with him after that is you can extend the legs, and you can also turn this bit around. So depending on which angle you want to actually have your ship at, you can turn that around and extend it, and then you can see the little thrusters just fire and just it fires off. And what it does when it pushes the legs out, it extends the wheels off the ground as well. That's my last shot.
That's cool.
That's my last shot. So I'll stop sharing, but I can share. I can show. This is the little guy. So you just extend the legs out, and you flip the legs out here, like that. And that's pretty much it. And push it back in all the way.
But did you get that from Alexis?
TF Safari. So you can extend that around as well, and it clips in properly. So it clips in. It goes in a certain way as well. And then this is the shockwave as well. So if you want a shockwave, see shockwave that you can hold as well. That plugs in.
Definitely put that stuff in Facebook, and I can shove it on Twitter because there were brilliant photos of the arc there.
Thank you, sir. So the shot's gone. No, that's true. I can't find them. And then obviously wrapped up, you got his little thighs. Look at his little thighs.
Oh, we're doing them again.
There we go. That's it.
Cool. Nice, brilliant, amazing photos. Really amazing photos. And Jamie, yours were too. You're both my favourite. Brad, did you get anything this week?
I did. Yeah, I did. I haven't got any fancy photos though. But Perceptor arrived the other day, and he went straight into the cabinet because I was really excited about getting a good Perceptor. Then realised I don't actually find Perceptor interesting. So,
at all.
Why is that? No, is it because he's a microscope?
Because he's a microscope. Yeah. Yeah, I was really looking forward to him as well, without actually thinking about it. It was just like, oh yeah, Perceptor's here, and then opened him and was like, yeah, just straight on the shelf of Perceptor. Nice, lovely figure, but I just wanted a car. So I've been out today. The cleaner was supposed to come around today, but the cleaner never did, so I had to vacate for about 2 hours. So I went to Smith's and I grabbed myself a little bit of a slammer. I haven't actually opened Slammer yet, saving it for a rainy day. But I did watch a review earlier of Slammer. I don't know why, because I had it here. Yeah. kind of antithesis of buying toys. Buy a toy, then watch a review to enjoy it. But Ed bought me Brunt going back about a year and a half ago for Christmas. That chronology is miles off. But I've loved weaponizers ever since. So I've spent the last year picking up weaponizers. I've got Slammer, and I'm going to attempt to make some kind of stupid.
He doesn't feel like a weaponizer to me. He actually feels like a proper transformer. You know, he feels like he transforms into a tank. I don't know if it's because I had the original Metroplex, but he just feels this is the way he's meant to be. With other weaponizers, I always feel like haphazard. You know, it's like, oh, this is the best coming, and they just kind of hope that it looks good.
The almost
Use your imagination. Yeah, I mean, this, it just looks like, you know, you just look at it, you go, that's Slammer. Yeah.
It does kind of look like it's sort of like, bam, tank. He's a tank now. There's no bits. He's just a tank. Yeah. I'm looking forward to, I'll open him at the week. He looks really nice. Also, a bit of Black Series. I've been talking about like selling a bunch of Black Series off, and I've got rid of a few of them because they're just getting ridiculously priced now. But this one is definitely one I'm going to keep. Loads of pre-orders came in. I actually got an Antok Merrick Blue Leader from Rogue One.
Oh, nice.
You can tell I've been opening loads of toys this week. But yeah, he's kind of like a short-lived hero, wasn't he, Blue Leader? He was down pretty much straight away, but he was...
Why keep him? Why keep him out of all of them?
But Rebel pilots, I don't know what it is about Rebel pilots. They're just...
Rebel scum.
Yeah, they're just great. And that was one that I never thought would get released anytime soon when I saw he came out. And it was a kind of a case, I pre-ordered him months ago, and then he just arrived out of the blue, and I was like, what's this? Opened it, and I was like, oh, great. It's Antok Merrick. But I said it in Welsh, obviously.
Well, that was Welsh.
That's a good one. Close enough. The last one... I got... There's Pipes as well. Who, I'm really surprised is different to Puffer. But still has visible piss. Visible piss? Visible piss. Sorry, Paul.
Piss wank.
Yeah. Love him. Love Pipes. But then also I got I like my Galaxy Force and Unicron trilogy stuff from Japan. This I've been watching on eBay for a long time. And the seller kind of sent one of those offers out at a price I was prepared to pay for it. So I can't remember what he's called in Cybertron, but it's Galaxy Force skids. Little blue car with ridiculous exhausts and like a little cannon that pops up on the top. Is it Clocker?
I could say yeah, but I'd be lying if I'd be pretending on you. Yeah, that's Clocker.
Cybertron Clocker, but that's the Galaxy Force skids, who's a lovely little car. I actually sold it a couple of years ago to fund us buying the house, and been wanting that back ever since. So he's a nice little addition. Actually came with the box, but what I was really disappointed to find was because this is the only kind of stuff I like to display in the box because the boxes are all really nice, but there's no insert in there, so it's just a case of like you have to chuck him in. And then
hang on, wait, he came like that, or you know he came like that originally? You mean, or
no? There should be an insert in there to hold him in there, but there isn't with this one. So I don't know. Could be the end of the world.
Oh, Brad, right? We're on the channel, right? Okay. So chat, our followers, if you want to insert Brad, then follow him on his channel, drop him a DM, send him a picture of your insert, and then if he likes your insert, he'll accept it.
If you want to insert Brad, apparently you won't feel anything. So
shouldn't you just go to Phil Hogg and take a cast of your insert and let him try it out?
Well, yeah. If you want to send Brad a sample of your insert, he loves a bit of a DM.
Are we still doing pickups?
Buttering into those DMs.
Pickups, mate. We're doing pickups now.
This is a different kind of pickups.
Sexy pickups. You all had sexy pickups. What did I get this week? I got some Black Series figures. I got a carbonized Boba Fett and a Mandalorian, the one in the Beskar armor, which comes on its own. I think I have all of them now. Until the ones which are released. So I'm onto my new shelf, and we were talking earlier about the Warhammer stuff, so I'm going to talk about what I'm going to pick up in the future. And I got some shots of those Joy Toy Space Marines. Now, nice. Jamie, did you like Space Marines, Jamie?
Yes, I think everyone did.
Brad, like, if you look at these boys, now I think they come right this. Oh, they just look really nice.
A wonderful thing.
What scale are they? Like 118 scale or 112?
I think they're about 5-6 inches.
Awesome. So that's nothing what Jamie said.
A bit smaller than McFarlane's.
So that would be about 6 inches. That's about 112 scale, isn't it? So.
And look at these bad boys, Terminators.
Chaos Marines.
Yeah, Chaos
Chaos
Terminators.
Wow.
I mean, it just looks.
Remember the Terminators? They were at the front, weren't they? They were massive, weren't they? Like the extra bulky armor, right?
Bulky with like all the big guns, like the heavy armor dudes.
But I can only find them on sale. I think it's on places like Play Asia and stuff.
What kind of price are they?
They're about, for a set of 4 or 5, they're about 130 to 150 pounds.
Get in there.
I haven't seen anyone UK sell them yet. So there's probably a bit of a premium. Ultramarine meat, yes, Fire. Oh, 12 centimeters, Rudy said. So, how far away is that? What's that in inches? About 4 or 5 inches.
12.
About half an electron.
I like how we're all using different units. Like, no,
It's
12,
about-
6 inches.
Well,
about
the
4.
Dazatron, I got them from TF Safari. TF Safari.
1 cat and a half.
60th of a
Which is
meter.
far away.
So yeah, I'll show Zham. Yeah, cool. So that's probably the place I ordered them from. But yeah, they look cool.
Yeah, they're lovely.
Right, what's next? It's time for Fourplay, which today is Brainstorm. So we will do that once I find the logo. Where have you gone? Oh, I've lost my brand bit. No, it's not that. Fuck.
Is that CDI Zelda?
So I say, Dave, yeah, Dave,
He always
saying
turns
we
up.
are one heck of a boy band. We are.
We are.
We miss Andy though. Andy's like gone all Robbie Williams on us. He's gone solo.
Yes, found him.
Lynn, these are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
Lynn. What's she like? Cool. So the Fourplay tonight is Brainstorm.
I think I'll get one.
Oh.
I'll go first. It's fine. I'll go first.
All right, cool. We'll go for Alexis can go first. Oh, he's having a look. How many brainstorms has he got that he has to do that thing where he puts his hand to his chin and looks up and down? Which one should I pick?
I got one. This one here. I thought I'd go this one because I know this is the one you're going for, Paul. This is the Fanstoys one because this is
Nice.
I own 2. I own this one and I own Generations. It's too hard to get, so I got this one. So this is the Legend Scale Brainstorm, and this comes now. You can buy it as an individual or a 4-pack. I'm pretty sure you can pull this down as well. Look, it comes in. So as Brainstorms go, he's pretty awesome. I remember when this guy came out, and this was like, it's got the Japanese face with the face sculpt. There we go.
Yeah.
Which is rather annoying because everyone wanted the Western face. But I remember this guy came out. He was the last one to come out, I think, of the Fanstoys version. They released all the headmasters, and he was the last one. And I'll be honest, he was always my favorite out of all the headmasters, which when they got released originally. I thought he always was the leader from the Rebirth. I know he played a much lesser role in headmasters, but he's pretty much everything you want from a Legend Scale Brainmaster. 17 pounds, pretty articulate. It's all like there's no ratchets in him really. He's cheap as chips, but he's really good. And his head transforms, so he's got his little. Oh, what was the guy's name? What was his name?
Okay, Arcana, is it?
Arcana.
He
was a strategist, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So I remember that. So he's pretty cool. He is what he is. I like him. He goes on my shelf with my headmasters. That's me.
Cool. Who would like to go next?
I will if you want.
Cheers, Brad.
Oh, so I picked this one because I'm more of a deluxe fiend than anything, but I haven't picked the deluxe Brainstorm from Titan's Return. I actually went for, was it Generations 30th Brainstorm?
Yeah.
Yeah, this kind of came out of nowhere. We'd never had, as far as I remember, a headmaster released in the Generations line or the Classics line or anything like that. And all of a sudden it's like, big bam, have a Brainstorm. But the one really lovely thing that I like about this is it's blatantly based on an R-Wing from Star Fox. So if just look at it like that, that's the shape of an R-Wing, and the front obviously as well looks a bit like an R. It just so is an R-Wing from Star Fox. So when it came to selling loads of stuff off when we moved house, it was like I took a look at this and was just like, nah, I don't think I can get rid of that because it's just such a beautiful figure, and it's actually like weirdly out of scale with almost everything else in the Generations line. It's like a bit too tall. Yeah, it's a bit too tall. It doesn't sit right with anything. I don't know if that's because it was a headmaster or what they were really going for, but yeah, it's just kind of a really unique thing in that line, and that's why I love it so much. There was an issue with the headmaster actually losing paint, and you're not gonna be able to see it, but on the legs of mine, you can see it a bit there. The paint actually it's basically like cake icing, and just comes off. But to be honest, it doesn't.
Does
really
it taste
bother
like
me.
cake icing?
Hang on. Better than cake icing.
But
then most
Hasbro
things
won the
taste
game.
better than supermarket cake icing. You know what I mean?
True.
You need 3 spoons to break through that bad boy layer, and then the sponge underneath is never worth it. But yeah, just a really cool figure that, for some reason, well, for all the reasons, I just wanted to keep hold of and not get rid of. Doesn't go with anything else on the shelf. Outscales everything. Just weird, but I love it.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Great choice.
You could have Nathan Brody watching, do a repaint, do a Star Fox repaint of him. That'd be really cool with a Star Fox as a headmaster.
Let's get Nathan on the go.
Yeah.
So my figure I've chosen is Titan's Return Brainstorm, which was actually kind of hard to get. And when I got this figure, he was in sale on the Transformers Group UK sales page, and it was like £40. But the person selling it at the time was also doing us.
Sorry, I was trying to delete a photo.
Was doing a stall. So a sort of like a toy fair, which was I think it was only about 30-40 minute drive away. So for £35, I thought instead of like going there, buying it and paying for postage, I would go there and just buy it off him at the toy fair. And so I convinced Milan to drive me there. Got there, got into the toy fair, paid my way in, and then I got to the guy, and then he increased the price to £40.
What?
So, yeah.
Oh, I recognise you.
So that's why I thought, well, never buying anything off of this guy. And again, but I got him.
Name shame him. Was
it
Alexis?
I'm glad he name shame afterwards.
Yes, it was.
But some people are just like that.
He says toy show is a sex show. Right?
Obviously, I didn't have my attractive face on that day, so he just charged me, extra for me not going. I don't know. But yes, so I got Brainstorm. I was quite happy, even though it cost me a £5 extra and money because I had to pay to get in. But yes,
you should have kissed Hanks in his face.
Did you buy anything else from the toy fair though? Did you buy anything else that day?
Actually, I think I got some tablet.
Scottish tablet.
Yeah.
Ah,
Some Scottish tablet and Cornish tablet actually. So that was quite good there. You always get these sort of like sweetie sort of shops that come to support these things. So I was quite delighted about that. So that was good.
There you go.
Cool, brilliant. So for my Brainstorm.
So I was just asking, was that before? Because I know they re-released them. Andy Ride gets always excited about the old box art. Was that before they re-released the old box art versions?
Yeah, this was not the Takara version. This was the good old-fashioned Titans Return version. So yeah,
that was the exclusive then, wasn't it?
Yeah,
there was like a bluer one.
Walgreens.
Yeah, Walgreens.
Because I've got the one that came with the box set. With Windblade.
That was £20, wasn't it? Like in comparison.
Attack on Velocitron, or
yeah, I think it was something like that. So this was the exclusive one hard to get.
Right. Well, I copied you, so I went for Titan's Return. I love this photo just because for me it just smacks of Starcom, like old like detachable bits and stuff, and the grey with the light grey putting together and a bit of 90s fluorescent neon colours. But yeah, he's a great mould, bit of beige. And I remember getting that. One of the last ones I picked up, I remember him being £5 on sale in Tesco's, was Titan's Return Blur. And he just looks so bland and boring. But he's actually one of the most interesting bots I think you can get in Titan's Return. His the whole transformation is really clever. It's such a tight bot in both modes. It's a job done really well by Hasbro. And he shares this mould, doesn't he? This is based on the Blur mould from Titan's Return. And absolutely love him. Brilliant bot. So I've copied you, Captain Jamie, but I went for him.
It's like you said, that mould has been good because it's been reused, hasn't it? By Blur and RC.
Chromia as well. What was the pink one? No, it wasn't Chromia. What's the pink one? I've got it. So she was
RC was the pink one was
No,
RC Headmaster.
the purple one from the comics.
Nautica?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Because she was that as well.
And she's highly sought after as well because she only came in the freaking box set, didn't she? So she tends to sell about 65 quid or something like that.
Yeah, she's at the back. Yeah, she's beautiful.
She is. She's like a young girl Platt. Right, on to discussion then time. We'll wrap this episode up with a discussion. Music?
We now return to the Transformers.
Alexis is gone because we normally use Rohan as toilet break, but because we used Rohan at the start, none of us have been going to the toilet. Luckily, we all control our bladder as well. Just one person couldn't. So, when we look at the discussion... you went for a wank.
Solid 43 seconds, that was.
You had a hiss and a tank. Wow.
That fluffer. Got him prepped.
James, do you want to take us off?
I'm a keeper, me.
Would you like to explain the discussion?
Yeah. Basically, the idea was just because it was like 35 years since like Death Head has been released, it was to look at some of the sort of Transformer characters in the original Marvel UK comics and in IDW, but Andy's not here. Which we sort of liked and we thought were kind of iconic and were strong enough characters. We would like a toy of ourselves and representation and to say what we liked about them, what we disliked. Did the character really work? Did it move it forward? And this is like non-Transformers, non-transforming Transformers, not your characters like Spike, who eventually became a headmaster, etc. So characters like Deathhead, you know. And I've got a screenshot of just some quick slides I can put together just to give us a sort of you know. So basically there you had Anti, you know, which was one of the first sort of like, it was an AI went rogue from the Ark, you know. So that was one of these sort of first characters we came across. And then you had the Guardian. Then you had your classic Deathhead, who burst onto the scene and I think captured everyone's imagination, especially since he was, you know, showing how powerful he was and being able to take down Rodimus and Galvatron and decimate Shockwave. You know, remember Shockwave was the guy who could take on the Dinobots and win.
Who killed him in the end?
No one. And it's Death said, no. And then this is what Andy requested, you know, the sexy Amazon-esque type warriors, Femax warriors, I think they were called. Femax, I guess that's a play in the name, female, but you know, big ladies. Kind of reminds me of that Futurama episode.
Oh, well, the Amazon
yeah. You know, she could take the head off a Transformer. Take his head. And then you had Firebug. That was sort of iconic character. Then you had the Mechanibals. And then you had your Neo Knights, which had Circuit Breaker. Then you had some of the sort of random things like these sort of the evil things at the bottom of Cybertron. You had these sort of like strong, tough, independent women, you know, just some random things. You know, this character who didn't really show up much.
Oh yeah,
then you had Robot Master, you might remember.
That was just before City of Fear, wasn't it? I remember that, like, George Magnus. I think it was like episode 150-ish.
And then you had things like the Scaplets. Well, little micro bolt things which could take on different shapes and eat Cybertronians. Then you had Circuit Breaker, which I think is probably, like Deathhead was quite one of the most well-known characters back then. And then you had Centurion, which you've mentioned quite a lot before, Alexis. And then the Guardian again.
Oh, I love that, looking at the comics. I was really enjoying that.
Never seen half of those.
What was your favourite, would you say? Was it Death's Head?
Definitely Death's Head.
And you picked up Death's Head, haven't you? The third party.
Yeah, Quintus. And I think Alexis has that as well. So yes, Deathhead was definitely one of those characters. Pity that Hasbro don't own Deathhead. It's you know, it's owned by Marvel.
I'm fucking glad they don't. They ruin him. They fucking torture
For my
him.
benefit, Jay, I don't know anything about Marvel. I'm more of an IDW guy. So who is Death's Head? I've no clue.
Death's Head was a sort of cybernetic mechanoid bounty hunter, sort of cyborg. I think he was completely cybernetic. I don't think he had any organic in him. I don't think so.
Did he go around hunting the Transformers then, or something like that?
Yeah, he was a
like
basically
bad.
He was like a good bounty hunter. You know, I only look at him purely from the Transformer comics. I don't know what he's done outside the Transformer comics.
Did he start out life, Jay, as in the comics, in the main comic? I know he had this like a little side story, didn't he? I used to read his side story.
I think he first appeared in Transformers. I'm not sure, but I think they did something to make sure he was owned by Marvel, so he might have appeared in one scene in
a
Marvel.
side comic. You know, like how was it like Combat Colin, that sort of thing. He had like a little side story as well. Like once a week, you could have that as well, which is like that was quite funny.
Yeah, he did definitely had supporting cast as well. But I think the thing about Deathhead was he was quite a unique character. He was someone who could obviously, you know, change his scale, he changed his size, his mass, and he was non-transforming, and he was someone who could, you know, stand shoulder to shoulder against Galvatron and Rodimus. And he was also traveling back into the past. The stories get a bit convoluted, but you know, he's basically trying to either kill Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Scourge or Rodimus Prime.
You're into Marvel, aren't you, Brad? A little bit.
IDW. I was always IDW until I bowed out of IDW. So I was gonna I always found that a lot of people, and a lot of the fandom always say like, "Oh, we wanted stories with Transformers in them and no one else." But I always find things more interesting when another race or another like species is brought into it. If you go back to my favorite comic ever is have you ever read the Asian series? So Infiltration, Devastation, and Escalation. They're the first couple of IDW comics, and they're fantastic because they involve the humans in them so much. There's all these different angles where the humans come in, and it kind of culminates with one of the human kids, Hunter and Eon, becoming Sunstreaker's head.
Yeah, that's
basically a headmaster. It comes to a conclusion in Maximum Dinobots, but it was wicked. And then I never found, like, although I liked kind of like the Lost Light stories where it was just the Transformers, they were really well written. They were never as interesting because you can't relate to them.
Those ones were dark.
Yeah, they were dark, real dark.
Do you know, that's really interesting you're saying that, because when I look at the Marvel comics, obviously I picked key characters who carried over into alternative stories. You know, they just didn't have one storyline. You know, that was some, you know, category I used. But you're right, in a lot of these Marvel comics, they had, you know, either aliens or they had a humanoid to help move the story along to give some distinction. And there was a lot of different unique characters you came across from a range of different backgrounds. You know, which I guess today, if they were written about, they might say, "Oh, strong, independent." You know, this is groundbreaking. Where Marvel UK was doing it, you know, decades back.
Did Death's Head, did he have his own comic strip as well in the end? Like, you know how G.I. Joe used to have a bit at the back? Wasn't there for a while Death's Head?
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, he did. That's what I mean. Like Combat Colin. He was like a side. He was like his little storyline, didn't he? Like you could you know, much smaller version. Or like Beano almost. He was like that. That's why
he had his own comic, and his comic's been launched a couple of times. I think I've got the relaunched one. I've got the first issue of.
So you just said he was in Doctor Who as well.
Has it?
For our watchers who aren't sure, like to associate, Death Head's a little bit like Cable from the new Marvel comics. Like he's got like his cybernetic arm. That's his whole body. And where basically Cable has his gun, which like can convert into different like bullets and things. Death had an arm. He basically went, right, I'll put this, and he had different attachments. And basically he had like a mace, a gun. He had all sorts of different. He's like basically like Cable, like but fully mechanized. Cable and Apocalypse put together, and that's like the love child, and that's Death Head basically.
I mean, I know the new version of Death Head. He started to look more like a predator, mechanized predator, than he did an actual. I like the
sexual predator or.
Maybe.
Film.
No, Chris not like you.
He just gets a cloak.
No, he didn't smile.
Sweets and the van.
Nothing underneath the cloak.
Yeah. Oh no, it's the predator.
So would you
can see in the dark? This one can't.
So would you say IDW lacked those type of unique characters that Marvel UK had?
At the start, no, but I think as it went on, they kind of. I don't want to say bowed to like the fan wants, but they definitely ousted the human characters, which I really liked. There was, I think, the main girl, Verity Carlo, she showed up in one of the Wreckers comics later on, and she was like a fully fledged member of the team, which I was like, oh great, they're bringing her back into it. But then I don't think we ever saw her again. They didn't do enough with it, and they just in the end they really just focused on like the Transformers characters rather than the human characters. They also did loads of really cool things where the Decepticons were making facsimile humans, like cloning humans, and using them to infiltrate the government and stuff like that. And it was wicked. Yeah, I read IDW for it must have been going on about 10 years, and I'd say the last 5 years they stopped doing all that stuff, and I really just kind of lost interest. I plowed through for a bit and then just kind of went.
They did introduce new characters though, so I guess the difference with Marvel introduced new characters as like toys were released potentially. I guess IDW released new characters and then they became toys almost. Like you got like I know Metal Hawk was in something beforehand, but he became a bit more prominent in that. And you had the guys that were the city that Drifters one as well, and the city behind it as well. All those, and you had obviously the DJD. They all became. So I guess you look at the characters. They didn't release the alien characters. They expanded the Transformer universe more. I think because I don't know. Potentially they said that we've done this one. Why don't we try this one?
Do you think they could have been forced to do that?
Sorry, I was just say again. Sorry.
Do you think they might have been forced to expand in Transformers?
Well, I was gonna say the only time that I remember an alien race being introduced was. Do you remember the cliff jumper? Like
where he saves the.
He saves the family.
He's mentally hard, isn't he? Through the whole
thing. He lands and like there's the planet which is like humanoids and they're almost the same size as him. And he sort of saves that family, doesn't he? The one-man army sort of style. That's the only time.
That's a cool one.
Yeah. I mean, because I think when you look at Death's Head, he was kind of unique in the sense that Marvel allowed Simon Furman to create an original character and then plant him in a story arc of Transformers. So you got a lot of page time, a lot of introduction. And I just wonder if writers and artists now would have been able to do that with IDW, where they would make a unique character, which necessarily doesn't need to belong to the Transformers franchise, because it's not part of the Transformers race and not made by the Transformers.
But that was the perfect
would
storm.
they like that?
That the fact that storm, wasn't it though? Because if you look at why he did, if you listen, remember why he did it. But if you interview, he said, "I wanted Marvel to get it first because they didn't want those Hasbro to get their hands on it." Because again, he wanted to make it its own character and expand more than just fall into the gaps. Like as you said, like a lot of characters just fall into the gaps and become part of the background. He wanted it to become, and it has, Jamie. And this is why you're. I don't know. I guess I'm assuming you've grown. You're with Death Head, and you followed him a bit more for his growth in like different comics and stuff as well.
No, I didn't. I've only followed Death Head for Transformers. I've started to look into the Death Head. But as Death Head, I know Death's Head. Sorry, I keep calling him Death Head.
He's Death Head. It's not Death.
It's Death's Head. Yeah, it's the Death's apostrophe S. Yeah, that's how he refers to himself.
Is Death Adder from Golden Axe?
Yeah.
Is that the bad guy?
Death Adder. Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
The real enemies in Golden Axe, though, those little pricks that steal all your stuff when you're asleep.
Oh yeah.
Maybe goblins.
Yeah,
you have to kick them in the balls to get it back.
Death Adder and Black Adder. No, that doesn't make sense. Let's try it again. I'll come back to that one.
Did anyone ever read Hearts of Steel?
No.
That was where like the Transformers came back or like showed up in like the steam engine era. And that really heavily involved like the humans and like the real human reaction to a Transformer existing. I think that was one of the first IDW comics I read. I don't know if it was through rose tinted glasses, but I seem to remember thinking like that was like spot on. Like 2007 movie for all of the Bayverse like faults. The 2007 movie had the reaction to the Transformers existing spot on, and I think that's what makes the franchise so relatable. I don't want to see just robots. I want to see us interacting with the robots. That's what makes it fun and relatable. Not all the time, but most of the time.
That was like Circuit Breaker's character, because the thing about Circuit Breaker was, when she first appears, you see this woman sort of like scantily clad, and she's this barely a costume, and she's like fighting Transformers. But then you realise, going back to issues, she actually appeared as a technician at an oil rig, and that's where she suffered horrific injuries at the hands of Transformers. So she's seen them all as enemies. She just seen them as robots. She didn't know that they had personalities and had, I guess, a spark or a soul then. So her character was all about, fighting them and killing them. And it was only through, like 200 issues almost that she started to learn that they were unique and had personalities.
Did it go on for that long?
Yeah, because
Marvel 322 episodes, 322. Yeah, comics.
And I think Simon Furman was at it again with his Neo Knights, where he put Circuit Breaker into, because I don't know if Circuit Breaker is owned by Marvel or Hasbro, but I think she must be Marvel Circuit Breaker, because I think she went with Neo Knights, and they were and Simon Furman was trying to launch another sort of superhero team for them, or the writer who did it. I don't know if it was Simon Furman with the Neo Knights.
Was it a sexy oil rig though? Can't be a sexy oil rig.
Well, Mark Wahlberg had that sexy oil rig, didn't he? What's it called? Deep Water Horizon.
Oh, that was a
Google
great
list
film.
for after this. No?
Yeah, that's a day that's a day with tissues. That is.
A day with tissue.
Or kitchen roll if you're a big man.
There you go. That's it.
Right, so
do you have an elephant outside your house?
You can set that down on the desk for a while afterwards, can't you? You can't put tissue down on the desk. It just leaves it there.
got some more.
Kitchen roll, you can leave it there all day. Jeez, sorry.
She's like, what the hell?
Yeah, Paul's still dying. Oh my god.
I am. Yeah, you still can't make me laugh at all, which you were doing earlier, Alexis, when you were going on and on about the fucking gap fillers, and the next thing was a gap filler again. At one point, I had to turn my microphone off and just die over there. It's a non-stop gap fillers. I didn't choose. Oh god, I'm really ill. I didn't choose a non-transformer type character, so I went for some more images of Joy Toy Space Marines, which I found online.
Who was the big
I love his
guy?
Hang on. Is he named after
Lurgar?
Ragnar Blackmane. That's
that might be,
Is he named after his crotch priest? Joy Toy or whatever it's called. Joy Toy.
No, it is. This is exactly what I mean. But look at these.
Ooh.
They're Joy Toys as well.
Blood Angels.
You can't see it, but I'm rubbing my
Blood Angels.
No, Blood Angels were red.
Yeah. No, they're some of them are black.
Intercessors.
You don't seem like nice people, though, do they?
Death Company.
This is the Red Cross. These are the helpful guys. They got their help. These are the ambulance crew.
They'd make a real fuss in a baguette shop, wouldn't they?
What are the Blue Marines called? There was
Ultramarines.
Ultramarines. These are Ultramarines then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The Dark Angels, the darker angels. They were great.
Have you actually got
they
any
were
sort of
almost
friendly
tainted.
names which make you, I don't know, inviting?
There's the dog interferers. They were the first chapters that the Emperor sent forward, but they kept getting sidetracked, and no one knows the story why. But apparently, yeah, they would get erotic with animals. But that's it. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
There was a guy. Wasn't there a guy in the woods?
There was a guy in the woods. Yeah, it was really random.
Oh God! You should remind me of that fucking dude.
What are you talking about? You just randomly remembering a guy in the woods from when you...
No, we're not going into it. We'll get taken off air. I'm not going into it. I swear, one of you.
All right, tell me afterwards when the show's finished.
You told me about it. I think you told me about it, actually.
Oh, was it my story? Brilliant. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I'm not going into it. I'm not going into it. You know, we'll tell Brad afterwards. Brad, get a bucket ready. You want to puke afterwards.
Cool. Right, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Brad, thank you for coming on. It was really
always
funny.
A pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Legend coming on. Head to TF UK if you want to talk to us on Facebook or Transformers the Show. On Facebook, we're there as well. TF Show UK is our Twitter handle. What's the Instagram? Alexis, I'm going to sneeze.
Transformers the Show.
Yeah, it is. See you later. Bye.
Bye.